After this turmoil, the atmosphere at home fell to the bottom. When eating, Xiaohua only needs a chopstick. Vanilla's eyes widened, staring at her. Xiaohua was so frightened that tears flowed. I don't even dare to eat. Grandpa saw it in his eyes, and his heart hurt as much as a knife. In order to calm the family at peace, in order to make Xiaohua no longer wronged, Grandpa took Xiaohua to build another stove in his hut. Xiaohua sensibly helped her grandfather move bricks and wipe sweat. Although the smiles of the grandfather and grandson are bitter, they are full of warmth. This simple side room has become their most reassuring, the warmest haven. But some things can't be avoided after all. On this day, Xiaohua played happily in the yard with a windmill. The cry of the hen in the coop attracted her attention. She carefully took out 2 freshly laid eggs, raised it to the sun to see what kind of bright light is hidden behind the eggshell. But just as she was spinning gently, when eggs, Vanilla, with a face full of anger, suddenly appeared in front of her.
He will steal you. Look at the eggs.
Before Xiaohua could react, Vanilla turned around. A kick crushed the windmill on the ground. That was the only relic left by Grandma to Xiaohua. It was all her thoughts about her grandmother. Xiaohua cried and asked Shenyang to lift her feet. Seeing Grandpa come back, she immediately threw herself into crying. Grandpa's arms were full of grievances and reluctance. At night, after Xiaohua fell asleep, Grandpa used the faint candlelight to rebuild a windmill with stitches and threads. Gently placed it next to Xiaohua's pillow. It is rare to kill a chicken once in the family to keep it. I want to send a bowl to my father. Vanilla kept pulling the meat out of the bowl. Xiaohua looked at the white meat and white noodle steamed buns in front of her, and couldn't help but swallow her saliva. But he just lightly dipped his fingers in the taste, then arranged the dishes and chopsticks, quietly waiting for Grandpa to come back and eat together. When Grandpa came back, Xiaohua picked the largest piece of chicken, feed it to Grandpa's mouth. But Grandpa said with a smile, I don't want to eat it. The grandfather and grandson pushed and pushed around like this. Xiaohua knew in her heart, Grandpa doesn't like to eat. I want to keep all the best things to myself. Vanilla felt more and more unhappy, turned back to her parents' home. Find your mother for an idea. As expected of a family, Vanilla's mother also insisted on sending Xiaohua away. He kept saying, the child had to be born by himself, and even helped Vanilla come up with a bad idea. There is a couple in the backyard who have never had children. Let the Vanilla send the flowers over. When Vanilla returned home, for the first time, he smiled at Xiaohua, trying to paralyze her guard. Then he coaxed and deceived, took Xiaohua on the bicycle and said he wanted to take her to play. Xiaohua was very happy along the way. She thought Xinyang had finally accepted herself. But when you come to a completely unfamiliar place, Xiaohua realized that she had been deceived by Shenyang again. She wants to give herself to someone else. She begged Shenyang to take her back to her grandfather's house, but he was never moved. Seeing that Shenyang was about to ride away from Xiaohua, desperately breaking free from the shackles, she shouted heart-wrenchingly for Shenyang to take her with her. She chased after her all the way, even fell heavily to the ground. The whole body was in pain, but he didn't care about wiping the wound, crawling and begging Shenyang not to leave herself behind. At this moment, Vanilla accidentally fell to the ground with a car. Xiaohua ignored her injuries. Hurry up and run over. Do your best to help Shenyang move the bicycle. At that moment, the Vanilla soldier in the heart was finally awakened with a hint of goodwill. In the evening, Grandpa's hands trembled, brushing small flowers, shoes covered in mud. Xiaohua kept pumping even while sleeping. Grandpa looked at her, his eyes full of indescribable distress. Even the son was saved. I never understand why my father didn't understand why he wanted to raise it. What is a wild child that no one wants? Back in the house, Xiaohua took out her fat body. It is a pity not to study. In order for Xiaohua to go to school, Grandpa went up the mountain every day before dawn and dragged the body of the ditch building to cut willow. Every frame in her hand is Xiaohua's hope for going to school. It is all the kindness of her future light Xiaohua. Just like his grandfather, he made several pastries that day. I didn't think about eating it myself at the first time. Instead, he wanted to send a few to his uncle and Shenyang, and his grandfather looked incredulous. Ask Xiaohua, Shenyang has always wanted to send you away. Don't you hate him? But Xiaohua shook her head and said that she didn't hate Shenyang. At least that day, Shenyang didn't give herself to a complete stranger. She also said that she would give the only rice in the family to Shenyang. In this way, Grandpa took Xiaohua to the jewel house. Xiaohua timidly approached slowly with a sticker cake. Is eating white flour steamed buns with full pillars and herbs, looking at the well-behaved little flowers in front of him, instantly ashamed. Late at night, the couple lay on the bed tossing and turning. I couldn't sleep for a long time. Director Xiaohua, in order to make her grandfather feel more relaxed, take all the work at home on yourself. After sweeping the yard, twist the corn on the chicken stack stone. Twist until sweaty. These were all retained in the eyes. His heart was melted little by little by Xiaohua's director, gradually accepted this poor child. Keeping a simple word of concern made Xiaohua excited. He ran to the ground to find his grandfather and shouted happily. Grandpa and uncle took the initiative to talk to me today, but Grandpa's eyes fell on his bleeding hands for the first time.
This uncle washed. It is okay. He didn't run away. He ran too fast just now.
Why is an uncle talking to you? And you don't need to run like this!
Grandpa, I always dream that my uncle talks to me. Shenyang also combed my hair.
Countless times, Xiaohua watched Shenyang comb her hair in the yard, will unconsciously freeze in place. She fantasized that Shenyang's people were able to do it herself, smile at her gently like a mother. She combed her hair and told stories. Even if only once, she was satisfied. In the heart of Xiaohua, why doesn't she long for a complete maternal love grandfather, exchanged for the money with a wicker frame, finally made up enough tuition? Let Xiaohua walk into the classroom. It supports her future, Xiaohua. It also lived up to my grandfather's painstaking efforts. Cherish this hard-won learning opportunity. Silence has always been at the top. After school, Xiaohua holds the full score of the paper. Can't wait. I want to run home to show my grandfather. But the sky is not beautiful. The sky was sudden. Lightning and thunder roared. The dark clouds instantly covered the entire area like overturned ink. A heavy rainstorm is about to hit the sky. Xiaohua picked up a piece of plastic sheeting, immediately rushed out to find Grandpa. The ruthless rainstorm, plus the slippery twisting road. After all, it crushed the elderly grandfather.